From the most accurate sniper rifles in the world to the people who use them the most effectively during combat. Here are 10 things you need to know about sniper rifles.
Are you guys ready for another action-packed Americanized video? Let's get on to it.
Number 10. The origin of the sniper. You might hear the word sniper and not even think too much about where the word comes from. Back in the 18th century, when Great Britain occupied India, hunting competitions would often take place to see who had the best aim and to see who was able to shoot a bird known as a snipe. They didn't use scopes or really any enhancing aiming tools, and the term sniper basically was similar to today's term of being a sharpshooter. The bird known as a snipe is often difficult to find, and they often remain undetected to hunters. Not only that, but they were some of the hardest birds to shoot because of their irregular flight patterns and their ability to remain hidden in the marshlands of India or in dense forestation. Being able to shoot a snipe often brought great honor to your reputation, and being called a sniper meant that you were a highly skilled hunter. Letters home to Great Britain would often describe the tough work the hunters went through, and eventually it was used in the form of a verb. Number 9. Snipers in combat. One of the advantages of sniping is that you can take out a high-value target from the safety of your own hiding spot. Sniping during combat was often considered to be very ungentlemanlike, since the troops were more used to lining up and mowing each other down with cannons and volleys of musket fire. When the British were fighting against the Americans on our own home soil during the Revolutionary War, sniping and guerrilla tactics would prove to be a good way to wreak total chaos. It left high-ranking officers in constant fear that they would be the next victims. So obviously, it played a part in psychological warfare as well. While the British would march their troops through heavily wooded areas, American patriots would hide and shoot the person with the best-looking uniform, which indicated high rank. Number 8. Sniper decoys. Once the bolt-action rifle was manufactured and put to use during World War I, it had become a serious force to reckon with. Not only could shots be fired more effectively, bolt-action designs are still in use in modern times, and even with all the new cool technology we have today. It's a simple design, and Germany have put together some of the best scoped rifles available. Since most of the fighting during the time was done in trenches, just barely sticking your head out to see what was going on in no man's land could prove to be the last thing you ever did. British soldiers were eventually getting tired of getting sniped and came up with a tricky plan in order to find out where the snipers were shooting from. They made a decoy head with a helmet like we see in the illustration made from paper mache, and they stuck them out of the trench. A trick such as this allows for the sniper to take their shot, and then they realize that they basically just shot a piñata instead. Once they hear the gun go off, they can tell where that person was sniping from. Number 7. Simo Häyhä. Also known as the White Death, this Finnish sniper reportedly was able to rack up a total of 505 confirmed kills during the Soviet invasion between the years of 1939 to 1940. This is the highest recorded number of sniper kills in any major war, but he also did quite a bit of work with his submachine gun as well. The biggest mistake the Soviets made during the invasion was not being able to wear snowy camouflage, which pretty much made every soldier an easy target. When you're armed with a sniper rifle, this could be like shooting fish in a barrel, and the crafty Finns were able to take advantage of it. Simo became a national hero of sorts because of his sniping talent, and people would hear about him in the newspaper. This was all done with his Finnish Civil Guard variant of the Mosin Nagant. In order to keep his breath from giving away his position, he kept snow in his mouth. Eventually, he was shot in the face by a counter-sniper with an explosive round, but he managed to survive. He passed away in 2002, but his legacy in Finland still lives on. Number 6. The shot heard around the world. Long rifles were being produced in the US for the specific purpose of hitting targets from a long distance. These were normally produced by some German gunsmiths in Pennsylvania and had a huge advantage over normal smoothbore muskets. Instead of the barrel being a smoothbore, grooves inside made the shot much more accurate and able to shoot accurately at a range of over 300 yards. Without this new technology, the sniper rifle would never exist. Considering the Charleville musket that we see here were brought into America by the French, could only accurately fire about 100 yards. Of course, there were some setbacks with these long rifles. They were more expensive, longer to reload, and were heavier to carry around, so every shot mattered intensely. A man named Timothy Murphy managed to shoot a British general named Simon Fraser during the Saratoga campaign, which certainly helped out our claim to independence. It's believed that the shot would have been over 400 meters away, which is quite substantial considering the technology at that time. Number 5. Most prolific female snipers. Just so no one feels left out, let's take a look at the most prolific female sniper of all time who has a really tough name to pronounce. Lyudmila Pavlichenko was born in the Ukraine. She had joined a shooting club at a young age and became an amateur markswoman. During World War II, she became one of a handful of female volunteers who found themselves at the recruiting office where she requested to be in the infantry. They told her that maybe she should become a nurse instead, but she was not going to let the patriarchy tell her what to do. Eventually, they allowed her to be a sniper because they needed some people, and that was a good choice because she recorded a total of 309 confirmed kills during her time with the Red Army. Only 500 out of the courageous 2,000 women made it back alive. She defended her homeland and the invading Germans, serving in both the Siege of Odessa and the Siege of Sevastopol. Another female Soviet sniper worth noting went by the name of Rosa Shanina, who was praised for her sharpshooting skills, but heroically lost her life during the East Prussian offensive. Number 4. The PSG-1. Throughout the Cold War, the Danish huntsmen trained to unbelievable levels that would be gruesome to any well-trained soldier on the planet. In order to be a part of the crew, these special forces are pushed to the absolute limit mentally and physically. They also might know how to use a Heckler & Koch PSG-1. This semi-automatic sniper rifle has been exported to dozens of countries because of its extreme accuracy. It's said to be the most accurate semi-automatic sniper rifle in the world, and that's why it's a top choice among snipers for various agencies. It was mainly developed after the Munich Olympic shootout, where the West German police realized that they were unequipped for anti-terrorist operations. It's rare to come across one, and only 400 or less were ever imported to the US. They could also sell for at least $15,000 a pop. Number 3. Anti-Material snipers. Bringing the anti-material rifle to a sniper rifle battle isn't completely fair, and NATO has made regulations banning explosive ammunition against personnel. The main goal of these snipers is to pierce through vehicle armor or other material objects. During the First World War, the goal was to shoot through enemy tanks. The main problem with these, though, was that they were too powerful and they would actually break the collarbone of whoever shot them. Nowadays, tanks can withstand firearms, and anti-material sniper rifles are used to shoot through buildings or non-armored vehicles. The recoil is still pretty strong and can cause discomfort unless being fired in the prone position. The most notable feature about this sniper rifle is that it uses a 50 caliber slug, which will give it a much higher effective range at about 1,800 meters. That's over a mile, people. Unlike our last sniper, it isn't semi-automatic, but actually bolt-operated. Number 2. The longest shot ever. We don't know for sure if it's the best rifle ever made or not, but based on the record recently set by a Canadian Special Forces sniper, we should probably put it in at number 1. But this time, it'll stay at number 2. A whopping 2-mile shot destroyed the last record of 1.53 miles by a long shot. The exact measurement was 11,319 feet total. Canadians have proven to be some of the best shots out there, ranking 1st, 3rd, and 4th in the longest confirmed kills. To give you an idea how far that shot is, the sniper actually had to measure the curvature of the Earth into the equation to help him hit his target. The weapon of choice that fired this legendary shot was the Macmillan TAC-50, which will ultimately be a good device to protect yourself when the zombie apocalypse arrives. This has been the preferred sniper rifle by the Canadian Army since the year 2000, and it's designed right here in the good old USA. Number 1. Chris Kyle. Let's go and take a look at the most prolific US sniper ever to take combat. Chris Kyle was a US Navy SEAL during the Iraq War. Although it wasn't the most justified war in history, Chris Kyle and our veterans displayed a great amount of courage and efficiency. In order for a sniper to be credited, they needed confirmation that someone has witnessed it take place. Chris had 150 confirmed kills according to the Pentagon, and who knows how many unconfirmed kills took place. The previous American to hold the record had only 109, putting him at number 1. Kyle met his end from a cowardly act by a bullet to the back during a meeting at a firing range.
So which one did you think was the most interesting? Let us know in the comments section, and we'll see you next time.